Alright everybody, you guys have been asking for my Batteryman deck profile. This deck, I don't know, I would say it was tier 4 or 5, something ridiculous before 9-volt came out this last set. And my buddy Steve and I have been coming up with a couple choices. We started with the Mahunders, and my buddy Cameron came up with the Paw Hunter, and they kind of overloaded it with that. We tried Maw, and then Steve and I kept figuring out other ways to go through this this combo. There's OTK with this. There's a lot of ways to do over $6,000 of damage easily, and then you can get the OTK depending on if you get all the right cards to your hand, and you've stopped your opponent from answering anything. So let's go with the monsters first, then I'll show you just kind of a side deck and extra deck core. You want to run one industrial strength. A lot of people like to run two, but this is a dad, and it can just get stuck in your hand. It cannot be specialed with your charger, so it's kind of weak there. But I will say that it is really good. If you can find a way to play two, great. But I found it very dead at times. Double fuel cell. This is your I don't know, kind of like a Cyber Dragon. You can just kind of drop it as long as you have two others on the field. I know there's another card that is a lot like, but I'm blanking. This card's also ridiculous because it has decent attack, 2100, but the best thing about it is you contribute off a Batteryman to bounce a card. So it's like having a compulse built in. It's great to get rid of problem monsters, and that's usually part of your. You may not OTK with it, but because your 9-volt's going to die at the end anyway, sometimes it's worth bouncing your microcell or your, or not bouncing, but tributing microcell or your 9-volt. I like to play 3 chargers. A lot of people play 2, but this is your OTK card. This is your, on my opponent's turn, they attack microcell, I flip it, I get my 9-volt, 9-volt searches him. 9-volt doesn't die until my end phase, so on my turn, I sack off charger, charger gets another 9-volt. 9-volt searches fuel cell special summon because you got this and this out. Then you can bounce, you can do, that's $6,000 because he's 300 bigger. Because he's 18, he gets 300 for himself, so he's 21. You special this guy, so he gets another 300, so he's 24. You special summon fuel cell, so he's 2700. He's usually 2700 at all times. You play 3 of your Stratos, which is your 9-volt. Yes, he dies at your end phase, but he goes up to $2,000. He does some great damage, and then the best thing about him is he does die because you do play 3 supply squads. So we'll get into that here in a second. This is your, I guess, Wolf Bark, pretty much, kind of like a Wolf Bark, but the good thing is it can be out of your hand or graveyard. So a lot of times, I'll special him with Charger if I run out of 9-volts, and, bounce him with, or distribute him with a fuel cell. I just added Card D recently because it needed some more draw power, and it needed just a way to have monsters, but relevant monsters. 2 microcells. You can run 3, but once you've gotten your combo to go through, you usually have run out of these 3 monsters. So microcell is very important to have. A lot of people run without him, and that's where people take these out to run the Hunters in a Thunder Seahorse, which is fine. Go ahead and do that, but I've noticed I just didn't like him as much. You can't do Mahunder, and Thunder Seahorse only grabs 2 of the same names, and you don't want the 9-volts to your hand. That's the key. You don't want a Thunder Seahorse for 9-volt. You can Thunder Seahorse for these guys, which I would recommend. It's really good. It's just not, I don't know, I just don't think the combos are as great. So those are the monsters. Dark Hole, because you want to OTK, you don't have to do like the microcell into 9-volt and the next turn tribute. You don't have to do that, so you can Dark Hole when it's your turn, and then you can Stormforth to get your charger play off. So I'll explain that. So Duality, you do special summon a lot, but sometimes you can play this, set a microcell, say go, play this, summon 9-volt, grab a card for next turn and say go. Double Short Circuit, this is your kind of one of your win conditions. You blow up the whole field with this card. You have 3 out, which I explained is very easy to do. Charger, special summon 9-volt, 9-volt grabs fuel cell, special fuel cell, blow up. Or Charger grabs something, let's say they kill a card, they bottomless, whatever, because they can't bottomless 9-volt. And you play fuel cell, they bottomless, and then you go grab, let's say with 9-volt, you didn't grab fuel cell, he was already in your hand. 9-volt grabs industrial strength, the big guy. Special summon him, blow up the field. You play 3 of these because if you even just have 1 of these out, Microcell has an ability that I didn't mention. When he dies by battle, he draws a card once he goes to the grave. So you would draw for this and you would draw for this. And that's how this deck pluses pretty hard. It's not as great as Scraps or, let's say, Fire Kings, but it's very good as far as destruction. 2 Stormforce, I probably will go up to 3 actually. And I'm not sure what to cut just yet. Probably this Pinpoint Guard in here. And then I want to go 2 Lances instead of a Lance book. I still want to have book. So it's going to be hard sacrificing things to make room to keep it at 40. But I'm sure we'll find a way. Let me just move these up here. Traps. These Mirror Forces, you'll watch the duels. I'm sure, and you'll be able to see Mirror Force save me a lot of times. Once again, just like Dark Hole, you can Torrential because you don't really care, and then you can Storm Forth. Pretty standard lineup there. Don't really need to explain that. These are for the hands and for non-destruction cards. You know, Winda, things like that, and also for Winda, because Winda just kills this deck. You know, can't kill it easily. Fuel Cell's perfect for Winda. You just bounce it off the field, but you got to be able to negate to usually get the Fuel Cell out. Pinpoint Guard was very good to be able to special something that wouldn't die, and I could always bring back 9-Volt to search. But I am taking that out for probably a Lance. And then Trap Stun. 1 Trap Stun main for protection of your own monsters, but also just to kill for the OTK. And last is my... This isn't the full side deck, but you notice I don't play MSTs, so they're in there. Prohibition, you could probably put a 3rd. Prohibition for to stop the big plays for Shadal's Dragon to pop back row. You got to run the pretty much the macro type cards, the removal cards, because you don't really need your grave. It hurts your AA play, or your AAA play, but it's not that serious. Shadal's are still really nasty because they pop things individually. Rivalry is really good right now. This deck is all Thunder and all Light. Gozen, same issue. Trapstone, just have a second one to help you OTK. And then Soul Drain for the hands. They're really annoying and they really shut down everything that you need to do. If you notice there's not 15 cards there, you can kind of do whatever you want to do there. And then the Exceeds, because you run, because you run a bunch of 6s, or 2 6s, you can run M7 and Bouncer. They're really good. Bouncer just to have out. Standard 4 lineup right now. Omega is, I probably almost want to run 2 of him. You don't really exceed that often, so you need to have lots of different choices. Double Castile right now is really good. Paladynamo, Exciting, Emerald, Dweller, Cowboy, and Rhapsody for Lightsworn, for getting rid of Shadal Fusion, for lots of things. So you can change it however you like. I like double Omega. I like double Castile. It's hard to find room for all that. Ragna Zero's getting, to me, less and less good because you're not seeing as many Tinky type decks. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you will ask questions in the comment section and I will help you out. There's a lot of different ways to play this. I think if you watch the duels and you see me beat Satella's, Shadal's, Girgia, Lightsworn, and then I only barely lost to Yang Zing, I think you guys will like this deck. And click that like button. Thanks, guys.